making friends. My name is Joey Balestrieri. Welcome to my work table. It is the weekend and I am so excited about this project because if you have never made a piece of jewelry before, this is the perfect little project to give you instant gratification, beauty, wearability, a trend right now in jewelry, and super easy, like literally connecting. And if you've been around jewelry and you have some experience, you're gonna love this because it's not labor intensive, it's really easy, and it will really get your creative juices flowing. At least it did for me. So I have gone shopping in my stash. I'll link whatever I can that I'm going to use in the description box, but I'm a big proponent of using what we've already bought and what we own. So that's what you see here on my mat today. So I have been on Amazon when I was watching the trends for 2024, and I really believe this is going to go on into 2025, was brooches. They are back, but I was looking for a way to do them more modern, not like, you know, an elderly lady's style brooch, which they can be beautiful, but something a little bit edgy and a little bit more contemporary. And I found this set of giant pins. They are so cool, and they come already with some embellishment. I am in love with this bamboo one, and that's going to be in my first project or second project. So that's the other thing I'll just say. I started out to just do one of these really fast and just a fast, fun weekend project, but I couldn't stop at one because they are so fun. And look at all the brooches that were, or the pins that were in this set. This is the other one that I really love, but there's another feather. And look how gorgeous this one is with the branch. So I think this one is going to make its way back into my project list for the fall with the branch. That gives me ideas. But today I'm going to be working with this one, and I'll set these guys aside, but they are lovely. And then I got a little set of these also from Amazon, and you can be really creative because they're plain, but they do have the loops and they're really easy to attach. And I just think these are so fun. And as I was working on these, I got great ideas for even how, especially this one, to add into summer wardrobe. They don't necessarily have to be pinned on the lapel of a jacket. There are so many things you can do. Your bathing suit, sarong. I have a cool idea on how to wear it with a tank top. And so I'll try to pop some pictures up. I'll try to do a little styling with these when I'm done creating. But I'm going to take one of these out. And I have a little set of jump rings over here, and off in the wings, I won't show you my mess, but I have been shopping in all of my supplies with scraps of chain and different things to I have a bin with just charms in it. I've been in there. I have a seashell organizer, so I've been in there. So I'll try to, as I said, tell you where I got things. I don't know everything that's going to be used, but the feather pin is going to have a little bird and tassel theme, and my bamboo pin is going to have a seashell theme, and I'm going to be using a little bit of chain reaction from Jesse James Beads. And this one I'm going to put on this gold pin. It's going to have some chain and flowers and butterfly, and I made this little seed bead dragonfly with just 3 cylinder beads and some seed beads and some fine gauge wire. And this was a past video, so if you didn't see that and you're interested in making your own little dragonfly, I'll link that also in the description box below, so you can go back and watch that video. It was really fun to make, and I did a couple of these for the video, and this one was just a sample. So he is going to get made into a brooch today. So let's dive right in. This one here is going to be the most simple because I'm not even wire wrapping any beads or making simple loops. And as I said, if you're a brand new beginner, first time jewelry maker, and maybe you've just gotten your tools, this is such a great way to break into jewelry making because you'll just be opening and closing jump rings. This, I don't know if a beginner would really be able to do this without being frustrated, but there are so many substitutes, any kind of charm, any kind of anything that you could add on. But you know, I always like to take my jewelry to the next level if I can. So the only thing I'm going to do before I start is just bring in a little piece of paper, and I have already done this one. These are just fashion jewelry, base metal. So I am going to take my Permalac coating and just very simply give everything a coat. Let me open my little pin and just give everything a coat of this anti-tarnish coating. I tend to do this. It's super easy. It dries really fast, and I tend to do this on all my pieces now. I was selling my jewelry in a very high-end beach boutique on Anna Maria Island, and you know, the prices for my jewelry pieces and other artists were a little bit higher than normal places, and that was the shop owner's request, is that we use anti-tarnish things, or that we, you know, do gold filled items. She just wanted to warrant the more upscale prices and the more boutique prices of the artists that she was featuring. So I started looking for things to, you know, give some longevity, even though it's just fashion jewelry. And this Permalac coating, I can also link this below, is super easy to just brush on. It dries really quickly. I don't normally even do 2 coats because I have found that just a single coat really does the trick. And you know, it's just like if you can polish your nails, you can do this. You don't even have to be as precise as polishing your nails. Okay, and I'm just going to set that to dry. And I also will do my charms as well. So I'm going to take all of the charms and do the same thing with the Permalac. Just get all of them coated. Okay, I also have used this gold leafing marker pen to do the gold on these shells, and while my charms are drying, which they only take a few minutes, I'm going to go ahead and start working on this beautiful summer style. But what I did, like on the seashell here, is just use the shake the pin, use the skinny tip, and you just push it up and down and prime it. And then I just traced. I don't have the paint flowing on this, but all I did was with the gold just trace the little natural elements on this cowrie shell. And this is a commercially done electroplated seashell that I got from Amazon. So I've kind of mixed them up, and then I have a couple of shells that I think I'm going to just leave them natural, but I can link these pins below. They add a metallic mirror like gold leafing to anything that you want. You can mark, like do polka dots or stripes on pearls or glass beads. You can on your natural seashells you can do gold edging and things. So I'll link those below. They're really fun, really inexpensive, and just adds a little, you know, something to your pieces. So on this one, I'm also going to be using this chain reaction that I had in my stash from Jesse James Beads. So I'm just going to come in with my round nose pliers, and I want to make a spiral here, but a rather open one because it's going to be a connection point. So I'm just getting a little loop started, and I'm going to make this not very big, but I want to be able to get a jump ring through my spiral. So now that I have it started, I'll come back with my bent chain nose pliers and just gently push this against my finger. I always find that working more slowly with wire yields a better result. Also, I can see, I don't know if you guys can hear Oprah snoring. She is having a serious nap on a Saturday morning. Okay, when I get to about how I like it, which that's looking pretty good, I'm going to turn this spiral into a head pin by grabbing the wire right where my finished coiling and just bend it straight up like that. Okay, And now is the funny part that won't look totally normal to you. So as I said, these seashells, I ordered these from Amazon. I have a drill, but I just kind of prefer to have, you know, the holes already drilled in the shells and things. It just saves me all the dust and mess. And so this is going to be a connection point, and what I'm going to do is be really careful not to put too much stress on my shell. Just get a hold of that and just bend this wire to the back and trim away that excess right about there. And then I'm just going to take my pliers and kind of bend this cut end into the shell, just to make sure everything is secure. So it looks like that. And now I'm going to do a funny thing. This is going to get glued right here onto my pin. So I'm going to use some E6000 glue, and I'm going to get a good little bit going here. And then I'm just going to get my seashell attached right to the front, just the way that I want it to be secure. Now E6000 does take a little bit of time to set up, so it's good that I'm going to be making several designs with these pins, because my charms are dry from the Permalac coating, but the E6000 will need a little bit of time before we can do anything with it. So let me just turn it over and make sure. If you're working with E6000, the nice thing is you have a little time to make sure everything is sitting the way that you want it. The bad thing is you have to wait. It won't dry right away, so you'll have to wait for your design. But I'm just making sure that my pin is coated in the E6000. So I really think that I have enough on there, but you could always add a little bit more even initially after it's set up. Okay, so this is my little design here for this one, but I won't be able to do my connecting. And as you can see, it's just simple connecting until that is dry. So let's move on to this one, because the Permalac anti-tarnish is dry on all the charms. It doesn't take very long. And so I'm just going to lay out my design here with the loops on the pin. I think I'm going to put my dragonfly on this far loop, and my chain on the middle, and the red flower here. But this is going to be just simple connecting. So I'm going to reach for a little bit larger jump ring, and I'll get my dragonfly on there first. And for those of you who are first-time jewelry makers, to open and close a jump ring, you never pull it apart, because you will probably not be able to get it back to the round shape. You do a twisting motion. So you grab one side of each of the ring where it's split and just push one part to the back and bring one to the front, and then you have opened your jump ring. And so from here, I'm just going to grab my little dragonfly and attach him. Since he's the biggest item on all the connecting I have to do, he will kind of dictate where everything else goes. So he is hanging like that. And this is really cool chain. I don't even need a jump ring because the links on this are not solid. So I can just open and add it right on. And this chain is just a craft store item. So I had it in my stash, and I'm a big proponent of using what we have in our stash. And let's see, I think I will go ahead and get a medium size jump ring. I make my own jump rings out of the craft wire that I use for everything else, and they also have the anti-tarnish coating on them. And then I can also like vary my size, whatever size I need. So cute. I love it. Okay, now I'm going to embellish the chain. I'm going to use these really small. These are like 4 millimeter. Let me make sure that this is doing its thing and not sliding. It's looking good. Let me get a few small jump rings. I think I'm going to add the little flower right here to the dragonfly's wings. And so the last one I'm going to add is this little turquoise flower, and it can go right here. And even though this is just a simple connecting project, you can connect on the front or on the back of links of chain. So if you want to really have everything facing forward and hanging properly, you kind of have to do what I just did and kind of look at how your chain is hanging. And these little 4 millimeter jump rings that I've made are a little challenging. They're very small. They're a little bit difficult to get your pliers around, but so you could do larger ones if you wanted to. But this little pin is done. Look how adorable this is. It is like a proverbial, we've got charm bracelets and charm rings and charm necklaces, and this is a charm brooch. It is so cute. Oh my goodness, how delightful. Absolutely delightful. I will put this up, put pictures up at the end of the video with that. It's so cute. Oh my goodness, I love it. Okay, this is, I mean, the E6000 is really doing a great job setting up. It's already not moving, but I'm still gonna let it go for a little bit. I'll move this guy out of the way and we will jump to my feather. So let me show you what I've pulled from my stash for this. Now, one thing I love about this is all the little areas in this pin where you could make possible connections. So I think that's going to be really fun. So I have a little bit of antique bronze or antique brass chain, and I actually don't remember where I got this. Let's see if I can share that. Bronze plated. It doesn't say the website. I am so sorry, you guys. I have a little stash of things from over the years, and I don't know where I got this. But, you know, the fun of this is to use scraps of chain or, you know, use anything that you have. It's in a little bit of a mess, and I won't need that much for sure. So I would like to put some chain on this one. So let me kind of lay a little length out here for the design. And I also have these little tassels from my stash, and I'm thinking that I'm going to use this orange one. So let me cut it off the card. I have gotten a new organizer that is like on a Lazy Susan, and honestly, I can't find anything. I haven't quite, still at a point where I can't remember where I put anything, but organized myself into not being organized. I've said that in another video because I had recently done this, and I know that so many of you can relate to that because I got a lot of comments saying they had the same problem. Okay, so I'm gonna think about that little tassel, and then I also have, just from the craft store, I have these little birds since it is a feather, and I think I am going to get one of these out here. I might even use the little beads that came on the strand. And then what else? I have a little check glass with a Picasso wash, a little check glass bird bead. And I also have another one, coin bead with a little bird on it, a little small bead. So I see the makings of a beautifully themed brooch. And off to the wings here, I also have some beads in case I want to like wire wrap some beads in. And I just love this like burnt orange color. I also have a little bit larger one here, which I think might be pretty for the larger coin. Get the bag open. Let me take a couple of these off the strand. Okay, I'm just going to grab some scraps of antique bronze wire out of my wire stash for some wrapping here. And also I think that I will make some jump rings. Get a few. And for that, I am going to use this bail making plier, and I'm going to do like a medium. I think this bail on this makes about a 5mm jump ring. So I'm just going to get a little kind of a curve, like a little hook going. And I love this particular set of pliers. I have 6-step bail making pliers that I do jump rings with as well, but I love this one because of how ergonomically perfect it is for my hand, and also the long mandrels on this means that I can do as many jump rings as I want to coil. Okay, once I have my final coil, I just take it off the plier and then just find where I started to coil, and with the flush side of my cutters just snip one ring at a time. Just one, have a little scrap, and plenty of jump rings to work with. So let me just lay out my design here. Definitely want it to go this way, and I think I'm going to attach my chain here. Let's see what I want to do with the chain here, here, and then down there, maybe 2 lengths of chain. Maybe that there. Okay, I feel like I need to bring in a little turquoise to kind of work with this bead. I feel like I need some turquoise over here. I also have some African beads here that are recycled glass. They could be really pretty. Oh, they are beautiful. So I could use that. Put a couple of those out here. And this is just a craft store item. These are a dyed howlite, and so I think I'm going to get a few of these. Got a few more things to work with out here. I like that. So I think I'm going to do a swag with my chain just across there and then a drop here. So I'm kind of happy with where that is going. And let me see if I can open these links. I can. These is another chain where you can open the links. So that is really nice. I'm going to go maybe right about here and open this. You just open the links just like a jump ring. Just take okay, and let's see how we want to attach. I could actually put a jump ring through there or through here. Let's see how that would hang. Oh, and I like it through there. Okay, let's get the chain on first. Okay, my chain is attached on one side, and then I'm just going to make a little swag, and I think I'm going to attach it with a jump ring here. Okay, I like that. Okay, that is looking great. And I think I want to do simple loops on this coin bead and just attach it right there. Let's see, what do I want to do? I wanted to attach it right there. Okay, I am going to use my 1.5 millimeter one-step looper. And for those of you who are new to this tool, when you don't have any beads on the wire, you don't need to push your wire all the way through the guide hole in the back. You just put the wire underneath this little mandrel in the tool, and I'll just close it gently. I just want to make sure that my wire is just past that back jaw of the plier, because this tool makes a fresh cut there, so you can skip that step with your cutters, and after it cuts, it's going to wrap the wire around this mandrel. So try to go slowly. Just close the tool. There is the fresh cut that it made, and then it's making the loop, and then I'm just going to pull this wire down, and while it's in the tool, just straighten it, warm it for whatever. And by doing that, I can also see that my loop is now centered on the wire. So when I take the tool away, I have this really beautiful loop. Oftentimes you have to close them or kind of tidy them up, but it's an opportunity for me to work hard, and I just open and close my pliers on the wire, and that makes a nice strong connection loop. And then I am going to thread this through this bead and do the exact same thing on this side. But this time the wire will go all the way through the guide hole in the back, and my bead is up right touching that front jaw of the plier, but that is not a good thing. I want to back this away like a millimeter so that when the tool cuts and closes, it does not put any pressure on my bead. So let me try to go slowly. There's the cut, there's the loop that it's making, and when I close it all the way, I can see there's no pressure whatsoever on my bead, and then I can just pull this down, and I can see that that loop is now lined up with this loop, and the loops are centered on that wire. And when I take it away, I have a really beautiful little component with really consistent loops. I love that. And then I'll do that same thing, like work harden a little bit and just, you know, tidy up those loops. So now I just need to decide if I want to attach this to this loop here and cut my chain. Let me see how that would hang. I think I'm simply going to attach it. I think I am simply going to attach it to the jump ring that I added right there, so it will be facing forward. Just get my pliers in there and close it. Okay. That is really pretty with that hanging and the chain hanging down. So now I can do a little stack of beads, just a little something hanging from there. Let's see. Let me use a little scrap of wire, and I'm going to make a little tiny spiral head pin again. Just get a tiny little bend in that wire. Can you see how small it is? And this time it's going to be a nice tight spiral and a small one because I'm just making a head pin. So I'm just grabbing it really tightly. I've got a nice firm grip, and I'm just pushing in very small increments against my finger, and also making sure that the wire stays lined up with the previous coil. And this needs to be really small, so I'm going to stop there and then come over on this side with my pliers right where I have stopped coiling and just bend that up. So I have this really cute little head pin that I can do something there. So let's see, maybe one of those. I think this is going to be, I need it to be smaller than that. That is beautiful. Okay, and now I'm going to grab my one-step looper again, and this time I want, because of the orientation, because these loops are facing forward, I want this loop to go from this way, front to back on my spiral. So I'm going to hold it like this so that the spiral is flat or horizontal to my mat, and I'm going to put the wire through the tool all the way. Of course, I'm holding it so backwards. Sometimes when you're demonstrating, it is difficult. Okay, let me just show you and close it gently so you can see how it's in there. My spiral is parallel to the mat this way, and I'm just going to let it make that little cut and the little loop and just pull that down. Now I can see if I want to straighten anything, and when I take it away, I have this beautiful, beautiful little charm. That one is perfect. Sometimes I get them perfect. I think it has to do with the way you put the wire in the tool. And I'm just going to connect this to the bottom of my little bird coin bead. And so here's what we're looking like so far. Absolutely stunning. And then I can decide if I want to just put my tassel here. Let's go ahead and do the birds on this side. So another piece of wire. Let's see, this bird is going to be at the top, I believe. And same thing, simple loops. I have a knack for picking up a bead that does not have a clear hole. So let me show you. I have this little set of files. That one's too big. This is also an Amazon find, and if you end up with beads that have something funny blocking the hole, there are a couple of different sizes of these little reamers, and it is a great way to get whatever junk is in the hole of a bead out. They're like almost like an emery board, and it's you know, abrasive, like a little sandpaper stick kind of, and you just like gently turn it inside the hole of the bead. There we go. You see it coming through. It happens with glass and even with gemstones that holes are sometimes blocked. So I have a battery operated bead reamer that, you know, you need to like put it under water, but most often I reach for this little set. And like, if it depends on the size of the bead and what you need to do, like this one is way too big for this bead, but this little set, it's just an Amazon find, and it's really great for that. Okay, he is added there, and now I need to create a little component for the bird. And I think I'm going to use a piece of this recycled glass. Okay, this time I think I'm going to do a wire wrapped loop, just because I want to secure this so that my bird is facing this way and also facing forward. So I think I'm going to do a little wire wrapped loop here, and let me grab a hold of it this way and just give it a 90-degree bend. And it doesn't have to be a big loop. I'm going to use the tip of down near the tip of my pliers, and just wrap that over. Rotate that plier out of my way. The little bird is in my way a little bit, but it's okay. And I just look at it this way and make sure everything is straight. And just going to wrap right down to my stack of beads and just get it secure. Perfect. And I like to bring my wire around to the back and trim off in what is going to be the back side. Just make sure nothing is sharp. Okay, now that's nice and secure. And I think that I might add another piece of chain instead of doing it here. there's my little spiral, and I just need to create a little stack here. So cool. Okay, and the last thing is to attach this little tassel in our elements for this one. How beautiful. So I know for one thing I am going to need a large jump ring on my cowrie shell. Let me get that on. Okay, so I think I want a jump ring at this end. Let's start with that. Let's get it. So this one is weird. When the pin is open, there's a little bit of space here. Oh, that's going to work out just fine. That gave me the space that I needed to get the jump ring inside. Okay, so and then I'm going to attach this looking. I'm going right to attach my chain right here to this jump ring and close it really well. And then I am going to take another jump ring and attach, I think, right about there, and it can be a small jump ring, one of the really small ones. And now you see why I wanted a little open spiral. My little connection point here. And close that one really well. Oh, it's not closed. Go again. Okay. Oh, that is so pretty. And then I want to put a jump ring on this shell and hang it right there. And I think my cowrie shell is going to hang right beneath this opaque white crystal, and I think I'm going to attach this one with a little jump ring there, so I can cut this chain right here. I do not need even this link here. Okay, but I have to say, it's bothering me. This shell, it looks so dull compared to the shininess of my other shells. So my little trick for that is a very inexpensive clear nail lacquer, and I am going to give this a little coat of shininess with this nail lacquer. Okay, it is already dry. It is just a good little trick, and look how much shinier it is. Okay, and so now I can put a jump ring through this one. Okay, and my final connection. So I just want to show you something because this is simple connecting, but the orientation, meaning the direction your loops are going, does matter. So I want to hang this shell, and I know it's not a great camera angle for you, but I was going to try to just hang this on here without closing the jump ring so you could see that it makes the seashell kind of hang sideways. Can you see that? And I don't want that. I want the little gold edge that I've applied to face forward. So easy fix. I'm going to close the larger jump ring that I needed to get through the hole of the seashell. And then I'm going to take one of those little small 4 millimeters and put that on here and then add my shell. So it just is an easy fix way to change the direction of the way a charm or a dangle is hanging. Okay, let's see how that's doing. Much better. Okay, and then I'm going to put my shell that I just glossed right at the bottom here, and I am also going to use a little tiny jump ring for that as well. That extra little space that a small jump ring provides really gives a lot of nice movement. They're a little tedious to open and close, but it can be done. Okay, and I have one more thing to connect on this one, and that is this little shell, and it's going to go right here underneath the crystal. So another little small jump ring. So I have 2 here. I'm going to attach it right to the link on the chain so that it hangs just beneath the crystal. Okay, and this one is also finished. I think this is my favorite. Oh my goodness, you guys, this is so beautiful. I love it. I will definitely put some pictures up and maybe see what I can do about showing you some of my styling tip ideas with these. I have a few ideas as I was making them on how to use them in getting dressed and in adding to your accessories. But these are so cute and so fun. Don't forget to check the description box for links to the pins that I found and anything else. When I edit, I'll see what else I know where I got it and give you those links for your convenience. I thank you so much for watching. I hope everyone is having a great summer, and I really hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel and tapping the bell notification, and also give me a thumbs up if you like my content, because it really helps support my work and it helps grow the community with YouTube. So thanks a lot for watching, everybody. I hope you're all safe and well and having fun on your beading mats. Ciao, jewelry making friends. So one way you can wear a pin is if you have a hat or even a bag that has like an open weave. Those larger pins will go right through the weave without doing any damage, and you can embellish that way. And then this was another idea for summer wearing, is to put the pin through the tank top. So it's not actually going through the fabric, it's just going behind this part of the tank top. So it just rests right there as an embellishment. It's really pretty way to wear it. And then if you use a sarong like I do for a beach cover-up to go over your bathing suit, you can actually put the pin right through the knot of your sarong as an embellishment. This is not exactly the right color, but I wanted to give you the idea. So sometimes with the larger pins, like these giant safety pins, you wouldn't want to puncture a hole in some really fine fabrics, which in this case I brought this back from Hawaii and I don't want to damage it. So the pin is not actually going through the fabric, it's actually just encasing that knot so I can embellish my swimsuit cover up. So just some fun ideas for modern contemporary ways to wear your pins and brooches. Think about anything other than coat lapels and jacket lapels. Think about dressing up tank tops, hats, sarongs, crossbody bags. Anything that you can loop the pin through without damaging is a really fun idea.